Hello, welcome to the next video in the series of bicycle assembly videos. This one is about mounting bottom bracket bearings and cranks. First thing we are going to do is to prepare the threads. Make sure that all the threads for the bottom bracket, if it is a threaded one, are clean. There are special tools used for chasing the threads in case they are a bit damaged or have some rust in it or corrosion. And after that I'm placing some anti-seize paste onto them, smearing it on, just to prevent them from seizing to the bottom bracket shell. And the next thing we will do is to place bottom bracket cups. In this case we are using Shimano Holotech cups, and you can see on this scene they have some spacers that are used for fine-tuning bicycle chain line. As for chainline, I will add a link from my website explaining it in detail, how to measure it, and what happens if it is not correctly set. So first thing that I'm going to do here is turn the shell anti-clockwise to make sure the threads are coming inside until I feel a click, and then tighten it. Just a few turns did here to use it as a guide for the left. Use it to guide before I screw in the right hand side cup as well. Here I'm also turning it anti-clockwise since it is a British thread, British standard, and the right-handed cup is threaded in and screwed in anti-clockwise. After I was certain that the threads are nicely matched and that I'm not cross-threading, I'm now tightening it. Again, using just fingers. Then I will gently tighten it, but not to the complete tightening force, because I want to first just align cranks and see if the chain line is correct. This particular bicycle has 68 millimeter wide hub bottom bracket shell, but this shell in this video used and the part that the customer wanted installed was how do I say it, like improvised solution, because it is 70 millimeters wide for the 73 millimeters wide for wider bottom bracket shells. So even though this chainline is far from perfect, it will have to suffice, and the spacers need to be used and put so that it can be screwed and tightened in place. Otherwise the inner part, the sleeve, would have gotten crushed by the pressure of the cups. So whether we like it or not, even though the chainline is imperfect one, we have to use the spacers. And in order not to get the left hand side crank too far from the frame compared to the right hand side one, we have put some spacers on both sides, and so both cranks are a bit more to the outwards than it is perfect, optimal, and we will not get a very good chain line. However, here I'm showing what it is important to pay attention to. Bicycle bicycle components, especially Shimano ones, usually come with the manual what thickness of spacers should be used for which chain line and for which frame combinations. But here I'm also showing how to measure it, like I also showed in my video, sorry, on my website. But here in this video I'm showing where the tight spots are, the place where the chain rings are near to the frame, as well as the place where the cranks come near to the frame when they are spinning, and you should watch out for those. You don't want them, whatever the chain line is, you don't want them hitting and damaging the frame. That's one limit on one side. The other limits can be the movement of the front derailleur if the cranks are too far outward or too close near the frame. It could be out of the movement range of the front derailleur, so it will not be able to shift in all the front chainrings. So getting an optimal chain line has several consequences if it is not done right. And so in this case we are fine with an imperfect chain line and have tightened the bottom bearing cups to the appropriate torque, and now we are mounting the cranks. For these Holotech cranks there is usually a compression plug that is screwed in using this tool, but in this particular case that has been left at the paint shop, so it we will have to, for the demonstration, imagine that it has been put in and turned to the recommended torque on 1 Newton meter. All the cranks have their specified torques in the user service manuals, or even written on the caps and the cranks. So the first thing to do is to screw that cap in and then tighten the pinch bolts. Most Shimano cranks have another safety mechanism, like some sort of a hook on the top of the slit, opening slit here that you can see in this video of the left hand side crank, that is used to catch onto a small hole in the hollow axle of the Holotech 2 cranks. So in case even the preload bolt and the tightening bolts, pinch bolts, lose their pressure and the grip, that small thing can catch and hold the cranks in place. On to the next phase now. Thanks for watching.